He denied it. He said, oh, I swore by Holy Quran. I was the only governor from northern Nigeria that swore by the Holy Quran that I had nothing to do with terrorism. And that makes him like innocent, like honest. Bello Patawale was buying cars, was giving cash to repentant terrorists. Some of these terrorists, right, as Patawale freed them, they were driving all these Hilux pickup trucks, right, to the communities where they ransacked and killed people. Those who lost their loved ones in the hands of these terrorists, Bello Turiji and co. They were seeing these terrorists cruising in a pickup truck given to them by the state governor because they repented. Yeah, because they repented. So Lawal said when they took all these guys to court, the court released all of them. All of them. Order from above. And he pointed the fingers, not somewhere else. He pointed it straight directly to his predecessor, Bello Patawale. He denied. He said Lawal is trying to cover up his failure as governor. That's why he's blaming him for the insecurity in Zamfara. So all the things the guy said, nobody acted on it. Today, Patawale is a minister in Nigeria. And this is his recent interview with the BBC on the matter. Listen, that is Lawal.
Can do overnight, but
yet you made promises to the people of immediate change. And
we're
so
on that.
I'm the one who's here on their behalf.
We are on that promise, and that is
questions.
why I told you the rate of insecurity has reduced drastically in the state.
What I'm curious about is a statement that you made in a recent TV interview where you said that you know where the bandits are in Zamfara.
Absolutely.
You know where they live.
Absolutely.
You know their parents,
yeah.
etc. Why have they not been apprehended?
Well, you see, this is some of the complication. Like I said earlier, these people are not foreigners. These people are Zamfara State indigenes.
The bandits?
Absolutely. They were born and bred in Zamfara State. So we live with them. We know who they are. It's a very straightforward thing. And we are the people that can take care of that. And that is why we're making a conscious effort to make sure security is given number one priority. But also, we look at other factors. What are those causes of insecurity? Mm-hmm. People are idle. Let me say this to you. Zamfara State is a population of about 6 million people. More than 70% of that population are young men and women. And these guys are idle, doing nothing. They don't go to school. So what do you expect? Crime to go on. So part of the reason, part of the measures to address those issues is to understand the root causes. And that is why we had to declare state of emergency in education to make sure these people are educated. And when they're educated, they're taken care of. And when they graduate, they have something doing.
The former governor of the state is now in the national government, in the federal government, as a defense minister.
Absolutely.
And you know where the bandits are.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to put two and two together. You know where they are.
Yes.
You should potentially have an ally.
Absolutely.
In a seat as a defense minister.
Absolutely.
Why can't you smoke out these bandits so that we discuss a different issue?
Let me tell you why it is difficult for a state to do certain things. Yes, in theory, state governors are chief security officers of their state. Mm-hmm. But in reality, we don't have control over the security forces. And therefore, we have to rely on federal government. Now, we're doing that.
Are you working with the defense minister?
Defense, well, there's a minister of defense, there's a junior minister. The senior minister recently was in Zamfara to discuss the security challenges the state is facing. So there's collaboration between the state and the federal government. But what I'm saying is we need to make conscious effort to be able to address this issue because, like I said, these people, we know who they are, we know where they live, we know their parents. So why is it difficult handling them? That is the $1 million question.
I hope you have the answer. Why is it difficult handling them?
Well, we're doing the best we can within the limited resources, within my limitation as a governor.
Okay, and I'm sorry I'm taking you step by step. These are issues you deal with every day. Have you handed over those locations and names to the authorities within a certain time and they have not gotten back?
We have security report on a daily basis in terms of the movement of these bandits. But like I said, I'm not the man who will give the control or the order to be able to. I have to rely on the security forces of the federal government. Can do overnight.
Are you following? Yeah. Do you get it now? You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
This is how they are playing people with. This is how they are playing with people's lives. Okay? The entire chain of command is compromised and so corrupt. And then the people's lives is at stake. And there is little I can say. We know these guys, we know about their movements, but we can't really do anything because of the people that are supposed to do something. They are not doing anything because they are the ones sponsoring them. It is as simple as that. They are the ones sponsoring them. You are at the mercy of terrorists in the contraption. I'm talking about terrorists. Here, yesterday, the news broke that the Nigerian army had arrested and detained an investigative journalist, Fisayo. And it wasn't really that difficult for those of us who knows the work of Shoyombo as an investigative journalist, that if he is found in the midst of oil bunkers, then he is doing a piece on them. So how could the Nigerian army detain him for 3 days without announcing that they had him until the news broke? Eventually, they let him go. These are the other uniformed. You know, in Nigeria, they have the non-uniformed terrorists, the Boko Haram, the ISWAP, the Fulani terrorists, and name it, the Lakurawas and the rest of them. But there are also the faction which has the uniformed terrorists, the Nigerian army, Nigeria police, the DSS, the NIA, the CNN, the MTN, because they have different names for themselves. You know, you go to hear NIA, DSS, NPF, NA, MTN, Airtel, you know, these funny names. As many as they are, they cannot keep anybody protected. You're on your own. So the Nigerian army had an investigative journalist in their detention until they blew the lid on that, and they had to let him go quickly. And what was that? Nigeria has been dealing with oil thieves. And you cannot, I've said it too, I've said this before, stealing of Nigeria crude oil is not the same as you or me carrying a koroba pail or bucket to go and start, and then a chisel as well as the hammer to come to to tap a hole in a pipeline, crude oil pipeline, and begin to fetch crude oil. That is not for us. You see, those who are stealing the Nigerian crude oil, they are also the same people who are supposed to actually protect the crude oil, the Nigerian government. Imagine stealing what you are meant to protect. Double jeopardy. The Nigerian Navy cannot keep the Nigeria waterways safe. They are there. They bought them equipment to patrol the waterways of Nigeria. But guess what? They are not doing that. They would rather be protecting and guiding crude oil vessels that came to steal crude oil in Nigeria. Nigerian Navy, they will use their equipment and everything to guide the stolen crude oil out of Nigeria water and wave to them and say, bye-bye, you. Safe journey, see you next time. The Nigerian army, who are supposed to also protect these national assets. They themselves, they are shooting at themselves on who should protect oil thieves more because of what they will get. The Nigerian custom, who are supposed to protect us from contraband and other stuff that shouldn't enter the country, no, they are the ones in bed with smugglers. The Nigerian immigration, who are supposed to identify, give us identity of those who are coming into the country or those who are leaving the country, no, they are not. They are the ones working for the human traffickers. Name it. The Nigeria police, who are supposed to protect us from violent crimes and the rest of that, they are the ones selling weapons, selling ammunition to the same violent gangs. The Document Stupid Service, the DSS, who are supposed to detect the crime before it even happened at all. No, they are not doing that. They are looking for who is saying something about the criminal politicians online. They can track you anytime, any day, even if you are using an anonymous identity on social media. They will track you, but they cannot track the criminals who are the kidnappers, the terrorists who are kidnapping our people, who are slaughtering our people, who are ransacking villages. They can't do that. It is always the opposite of what they are set up for, to the point that militants are now the ones collecting the contract to protect the Nigerian pipeline in Nigeria, where they have the Nigerian Navy, Nigeria Air Force, Nigeria Police, Nigeria DSS, Nigeria NIA, Nigeria MTN, Nigeria Econet, and all these people, all these funny names. You are not safe. So, Fisayo is doing a piece on them, and he said he didn't trust the Nigerian army. So therefore, he didn't alert them beforehand. So that day that they came, it was because they smelled something was off. So the ones that they paid to look away, the ones that the oil bunkers paid to look away, they sensed that something was off. So they didn't show up. They sent another set that were not paid. Fisayo was out, and it was on Arise News yesterday, Arise TV yesterday, to share his story. You can watch the rest of this interview on the Arise TV YouTube. You can see the full interview on, the full conversation on YouTube. But here is a part of it where Fisayo told us what really happened between himself and this uniformed terrorist of Nigeria. Please.
Into the oil business that you are now picked. What really happened? Give us the details. Let's know what happened.
So I think everyone other than the Nigerian army already knows what happened. I'm an investigative and undercover journalist. I was investigating illegal oil bunkering. It happened that, it's a complex story. It happened that someone in the security setup was offended that he didn't get bribed, because the illegal bunkers would bribe people in security. For now, I don't want to, be specific, but it would bribe. And one got annoyed and tipped off others to say, something is happening there. So they came. Everyone else ran away other than me. I came forward and had an interaction with them. So one, there was no arrest. The Nigerian army did not arrest me.
They didn't?
No, they did not arrest me.
But you were in their custody?
They spotted me, flashed their torch, and I came out. And I wanted to open a conversation with them.
You showed them your ID?
I didn't show them my ID because the illegal bunkers had said they had settled everyone, and the guys who came were the ones who were not settled, and the conversation was going on to settle them. So I just thought it was a settlement conversation, and I came forward. So they did not arrest me. I came forward. It's not like they chased me. They didn't get anyone. All the other guys, fled into the bush. But I stayed because at the end of the day, I knew I had nothing to hide. The grouse of the army, the real grouse of the army, one, is that I did not carry them along. I won't deny that I have low trust for Nigerian public institutions. A small 2-minute diversion. Last year, I did an undercover investigation on an orphanage home that was selling babies. I bought a newborn baby with 2 million naira, took the baby to NAPTIP. I looked after that baby. After I handed the baby over to NAPTIP, I sent a representative to go there every month. Our birthday, we bought gifts, Christmas. We woke up one day, NAPTIP shut the door on us. The former DG of, now I'm saying it on national TV.
Absolutely.
Farida was the last DG of NAPTIP. She has to answer the question, what happened to that? I brought that baby. I just wanted to, keep up with the progress of that baby. And one day, NAPTIP just shut the door. We just got there and they said, you can't see the baby. So how do you expect someone like me to trust public institutions? So I didn't trust the army. I didn't carry them along. But also known that illegal oil bunkers were bribing different people in various security formations. And I would endanger my life by carrying them along if I didn't know who was who. So that's the first problem they had, that you were doing this story and you did not involve us. Now, I have been vindicated because I spent 3 days in military detention. Everything I told the highest levels of the army, the illegal bunkers were telling me when I left. You get, when they picked me up, it was around 2 a.m. We were in the bush until maybe 4, 5. A soldier stole my 2 phones. The army, I'm saying it on air, I have to fish out that soldiers and punish him. You can't arrest people and then your man is stealing. And when we left, they took me to a camp, a military camp close to that place. We were there till afternoon, until about 3 p.m. I did not say a word about who I was because I felt it was too general a place to make that kind of statement. They all felt I was an illegal oil bunker, and I played along until they took me to 6 Div. And I thought from then, I was speaking with people in offices who were investigating the case. That's when I said, look, I'm actually an undercover journalist. This is proof. But everything I told them, the things I wrote in my statement, as I got out yesterday, illegal oil brokers were telling me, who are you? We thought you were one of us. Now, this is what they said you are. This is who they said you are. They said you are a detective. You are an undercover journalist. Is it true? So, was I not right by not carrying the army along? Because how can you grill me at the 6th Div? And every single thing I told you, I got out yesterday and the illegal workers were telling me every single thing. And they made no mistakes. They were on point.
Fisayo, let's talk about press freedom and investigative journalism.
If you try to say you want to do the right thing in that shithole, your life will be snatched from you like that. How many of you remember that video of the customs informants whose identities were released to the smugglers, and the smugglers went for these informants and beat them bloody? I don't know if probably they killed them. So they put the video on the internet. Fisayo, who acted like he said, he played along to the point that even when he was arrested, he still never disclosed who he was. But when he finally told them who he was, immediately he got released. Everything he told them, they relayed them back to these bunkers who thought he was one of them. People were supposed to arrest criminals, stop oil bunkering, right? But they are more upset that they were not bribed than to stop the crime. And guess who they are ready to sacrifice? The one that think is doing us a favor. When Fisayo was releasing details of smugglers in Nigeria on social media, the same impoverished, criminally minded Nigerians, they were on his social media handle, attacking him, abusing him, threatening him. The hand goes soon touch you. Who sent you? Who sent you all this thing you are doing? You are destroying people's livelihood. Well, why do you want to take food from people's mouth? All these things that you are is the smuggler our problem. Why don't you go and expose the politician? Leave the smugglers alone. They are just trying to survive. Everybody in Nigeria is too hard. You are just destroying people's businesses. Go and report politician. Go and shake the same Nigerians. Because Nigerians don't really hate criminals. Many Nigerians don't hate crime or criminals. They don't hate corruption. They don't hate oppression. What they don't really like is when they are not the ones benefiting from that corruption, benefiting from that oppression. That is when you will see them as, oh, I mean, you are making sense, so, my brother, man, people like you are supposed to be our leader. Irony, Abanla Iro. Majority of Nigerians don't hate criminals. They don't hate crime. And that is why if you are a regular user of social media, you can see their countenance, their body languages when it comes to exposing criminals. They will come for you. Even if you expose the criminal politicians too, they will come for you. They would say that, if na you unko, you will not do it. If na you unko, meanwhile you that is exposing people, are you a saint? Are you innocent? What the hell is going on? And that's why they say, if you say you want to go and fight for Nigerians, you are either an idiot or you are a mumu, or you probably have a mental health problem too. Don't dare fight for Nigerians. It is one of the most stupid things anybody. You see, there are people who have this savior mentality. Say, I mean, I cannot take any nonsense. I cannot. Shut up. If you want to fight for Nigerians, then you would what? Have to use one hand. Don't use two hands. You will be using one hand to fight the oppressors. Then you will be using the second hand to protect yourself from the oppressed. The oppressed that are going to be stoning you. They will be stabbing you. They will be, you will become bloody from behind. Because they will be saying, who sent you? Now who sent you? You are not fighting for me. You are fighting for yourself. All of you are the same. They will say it to your face. They say you are all the same. And that's why I've told a lot of you here. If you don't be fight for yourself, get the hell, get out of here, man. So I'm fighting for who? If you are not ready to fight for what you believe in, for your rights, get out of here. Get out of here. Can go and look for those who have this savior mentality. I want to save the world. I want to save this or that. They will stab you to death. Fisayo could have been killed. All they had to do, the moment they discovered him, is to kind of release him and let him go back into the midst of those oil bunkers. And then they will release his details to them. And he will disappear like that. You will not even see his body. So when I look at the whole story, I'm like, guy, you are lucky. I know you put your life on the line many times, but this particular one, you are lucky. If one single person out of those army kind of recognized you on day one, they will release you back and then alert this bunker as that guy undercover investigative journalist. So they record all the things they do. They cover them, and we will never see Fisayo again. He will probably be dead. You won't see his body. You will not hear the end of the story. That is Nigeria. So it is an entirely systemic flaw, as in it takes more of selflessness to some level and some level of craze. Like you must be crazy to put yourself and put your life on the line because you are in Koto fighting for my fatherland. We need to cleanse this land. Where are you going to start from? Eh? And that's why they're like, you need to actually be crazy to say you want to go and face the system. I give credit to him. I say everyone who is standing up to that level, it's really, really incredible. All right. But it would have made much, much, much sense if the citizens that this whole expose, here you get now. Look at what David Undeyi have done for us. Look at what expose Shore have done for us. Look at what this Shoyombo guy they've done for us. These guys have done so much to keep us mentally alerted, awake,